So today is Tuesday, January the 7th. It's late, it's 10:40 p.m. It's 29 degrees outside. It's very cold outside. It's been a cold day. Hasn't Temperatures haven't left there. They've been in the 30s, high 30s. That's kind of cold for the south of the US. Today's topic, I'm going to make it about motorcycle travel and going around the world on a motorcycle. It's interesting, these topics, you think about them, and then when you're thinking about them, you have the words are right on the tip of your tongue, but then when you turn on the camera and then you turn to speak, you lose what you're trying to trying to say or what you are gonna say. But anyway, this is the only topic I've even written any notes for, and the reason it came up is that I was watching YouTube the other day and I was seeing a guy who's planning around the world trip, and as always happens, he mentioned the long way around, which kind of pisses me off. Every time I hear the long way around, I want to blow a head gasket. I mean, to me, I don't know why. I watch bits and pieces of the show, but to me, that whole show, to me, it was just crap. As far as they had a support crew. I mean, the whole thing wasn't really. Come on, it was a reality TV, manufactured reality TV for back then. They still did a lot of stuff, but really, that was just reality TV. There was not. There was like it's like a movie. There was a lot of. They really did do the writing, and I'm not trying to say the two are not brave, but come on, everything was just staged. I mean, everything was supported. But anyway, at least he pivoted back to Ichi Boots, which kind of made me feel a little better because I think, to me, I've been keeping up with her, been her latest adventures right now. She is in Iraq. To me, her is like the true what I call motorcycle adventure, and there are not very many who actually pull it off as good as she has. The lady on her bike is very good. She has pulled it off too. I mean, the lady has been traveling. She went through Africa. In some sections, she was camping. I mean, she's a true. I think she's hardcore. I think she's one of the few people who are truly hardcore. Cause I mean, she even camps. I mean, this one is she carries her camping equipment, and her show does her thing doesn't get as many views, and also the editing. I think her editing is kind of I don't. Her editing is too much on her personality. I'm not trying to pick on her as a woman because that's an issue too. Because when you criticize women travelers, you always criticize them for we start doing the male thing about criticizing women. But I think I never caught on with that thing. Even now, I don't even follow her. I haven't been watching her where she is in Mexico. I just see the thumbnail on when I turn on YouTube. It's too much on her. It's too much her personality, which can get tiring after a while. Especially if it's a women. I've seen a lot of women content and I'm not trying to pick on them. If they can, I think it's just the nature of the beast, where sometimes it becomes too much about them, and then it becomes, like if Ichi Boots pivoted. That's why I like Ichi Boots because it's interesting how it is for a woman that it's very interesting how, but it's very. I feel sorry for women because, like today, I was watching a lady uploading a video about her riding, and she was riding an Indian Scout or something. Very beautiful girl, but immediately when I saw her, I mean, I don't know how can one put it this one nicely. Immediately I saw how beautiful she was. I immediately discounted it. I mean, if I was in my 20s, I would have probably watched it. But the funny thing is that yeah, every time I see there's a beautiful lady in Brazil who I do watch. She does reviews. I watch that one. I watch her. Amanda, whatever her name is. That one I do watch. She's serious. To me, I do see her. She's serious. I mean, I still watch her because she's very beautiful, and that's one of the reasons I watch too. I'm not gonna lie. If she was not that beautiful, would I watch her? Probably not. So you see, that's a double-edged sword. So there's a Ichi Boots kind of. and I'm not trying to say she's not a beautiful woman, don't get me wrong, but it's because she's doesn't the beauty is not so up there. Because I've seen other ladies who are traveling and they are beautiful. I mean, they are, and it's not their fault. I don't get me wrong, but immediately I dismiss it like it's like immediately I kind of take it a notch down, and I think to myself, I'm like, this is just gonna be, you know, it's like the 20-year-olds are gonna be in there, all the simps are gonna be in there. So that's the thing. Like when somebody is a little bit more neutral, like Ichibutsu is more neutral. She's more mature now in age, and she has that. She's not like, I don't know. She's a beautiful woman. Don't get me wrong, but it doesn't jump out at you, and that's where you can kind of identify with her. So it's more normal. Cause like I said, sad to say, but to me, when I see very beautiful women who ride motorcycles, it just I can see the beauty becomes the it becomes not so much about the motorcycle, but so much the lady themselves, and nothing wrong with that. But like I said, it appeals to a different type of audience. I mean, for me, for like I said, at 20, the people in their 20s, I might find that cute, but to me, it gets to a certain point where, at my age right now, I don't. It doesn't really appeal to me. I mean, it's like some of the stuff I see on Instagram. It's just the ones the ladies showing themselves a certain way. To me, it's not appealing at all. Maybe because at my age now, I would have a daughter. Maybe their age, maybe some of the younger ladies. Maybe I would have a daughter in her 20s, and some of the stuff they do, I look at it like a dad, kind of. But anyway, let's get back to our topic. Let's stop rambling. So the topic about world travel, I've always been interested in world travel. It's something I've even thought about doing it myself, like motorcycle adventure. And I sound like a broken record. I mean, it's something that's keep gnawing in me, and that comes from. And I think it's so sad that to have that kind of comfort of thinking that way, you have to have lived in the West, because when you live in a poorer country, some of these thoughts are out of question. First of all, even getting a passport to travel in a lot of the poorer countries, your passport doesn't let you travel very far. The American passport lets you travel in a lot of places without a visa. So, but then also the sad thing about it, the urge to do that is also a product of the West, because I think what has happened in recently, and even now, it's you feel it more. It's just the hopelessness that's invaded the West. I mean, like now, I'm in America, but it's just complete. You can feel it. There's just really a sense of hopelessness and everything. There's really nothing to, nothing to live for. First of all, friendship does not exist, so you can count that out. There's no friendship at all. There's no family. There's no girlfriend. I mean, forget about even dating in this environment. First of all, even the money it costs to date, it's not worth it. So jobs they're BS. I was I've been doing this UPS helper position, and it's complete. It's hey, I was happy, man. I made 1 week straight, and I made some good money. Oh my goodness, I haven't made money in a long time because I quit another job. I appreciate it. No, but just look at it. It's BS. And even the guy they teamed me with, and I call him a crazy white boy. I mean, the man. I mean, the guy is a hardworking guy. I mean, this guy is a perfect employee for UPS. But the man is a machine, man. This guy is like a straight up machine. And I think that's what the West has. We have become machines. Even right now, I'm doing Uber too. And man, it's just a grind. I mean, but the good thing about the West also, and I think the good thing even America more so than even Europe. Europe, I think they still have a little bit. They haven't moved to that next step. But it's just the thing about it is that, but then also the advantage of that too is also it has made you not believe. I don't believe in anything anymore. I don't believe, and I don't. Nothing surprises me anymore. You know, if I walk out there, somebody shoots me, I will not even be surprised. It will not even. I'm telling you the truth. It will not even. It will. as I'm lying there bleeding to death, it won't surprise me because I expect it. I don't expect anything these days. I expect when I step out there, I expect just violence, hatred. You know, people just messed up. That's what it has come to now. The West has become the stress level is so much, and this survival. I mean, it's like survival has really become like that. It's just a fight for survival every day. That really, you expect anything. I expect people to behave in any way they. I expect people to behave in any way they have to because of just people the stress level they're in, and just the everybody is like just everybody's just fighting in that grind. But anyway, like I said, so that's also the incentive of escaping this kind of an existence, cause and do it now when you're healthy, when you're young. I mean, money is an issue. If you save your money, get out there. And to me, I find motorcycle adventure, using a motorcycle to go around the world more appealing because I like also the struggle of it. The struggle. I took a trip 2021 on a motorcycle, and it was for 1 month, and it was interesting. It was it easy? No, it wasn't. It was very scary. I remember the first night I got a hotel, and it was like $76, and I couldn't do another night like that. So the second night I went to a campsite, and I got there at night. I had to pitch a tent at night. I was taking a shower. I was worried about, you know, I was worried about somebody, you know, somebody attacking me in the middle of the night. I had my wallet in my little bag, not in the shower with me, but outside the shower with my little bag. But I left everything in the by the my everything in the tent. My motorcycle was out there exposed. Somebody, like I said, and I think I mentioned this in a previous video I made about motorcycles, that somebody could have come, kicked my motorcycle, burned my tent. I was worried. Some of the places I pitched a tent, I actually would always. I used to sleep very late. I would wake up tired because I was always worried about somebody shooting me inside the tent or whatever. So, but even then, once I got more comfortable with it, the first couple of weeks, I was out for a month. The first couple of days, I was very stressed out. I slept. I would. Every little noise would wake me up because inside a tent, you don't realize even a bug jumping on the tent or walking on the tent makes so much noise. So it's amplified. So but then, like I said, once I got into the groove of it, things started. I started getting more comfortable with it. Parking my motorcycle, riding. I wish I could do it now. I would take, and then eventually I had to come back. And even then, I wish I hadn't stopped. That's my biggest regret. I wish I just continued. I wish I'd said fuck it and just keep on continuing. And I think even me, that's what now my intention is to sell everything, just get on the road, ride maybe up to. My dream would be right to north, all the way north to Alaska, and then all the way down south to Argentina. So I've watched a lot of people who ride motorcycles and motorcycle adventure. I mean, I've read some. I also read some books about it, and they always there. And people have been a motorcycle. I mean, the problem with also with social media now, it's good and bad. We have people who are filming these videos, showing us, you know, showing us possibilities. But then also, and the attention is good. But then also, with that comes a lot of, like I go on advrider.com, and people argue over stupid shit. I mean, it's so stupid that people the you know because I think now it's the world is more accessible, meaning that adventure travel is way more accessible. The equipment is better, the roads are better. The really anybody, not anybody, but a lot of people can do it. So people, first of all, people dwell too much on the motorcycle you're gonna use. Nobody, come on. Nearly any motorcycle made today in the world, you can take it. People have ridden bicycles around the world. People have walked long distances. Like there was a video, this guy, Argentinian guy, I think it's Pablo Imhoff, and I don't know what happened to him. I haven't been seeing his stuff on I haven't been seeing his stuff on YouTube. He was in Mexico, and there was a Japanese guy, young guy, who had walked all the way from Anchorage, from Prudhoe Bay, all the way down to Mexico. I think it had taken him 2 years. And I remember even the guy, the sad case of the guy who rode his bicycle and he killed himself. What was this guy's name? Man, this kid was tough. What was his name? It escapes me, but that was such a sad case where the guy killed himself during COVID. What was his name? I mean, this kid was amazing, man. I followed him for many. It took him like 5 years to get to Colombia. He rode, and I remember when he started in Alaska, he started in the winter time. So you see all kinds of, and then also there was another case. There was another group I saw that started from Alaska in the winter time. These were veterans, and then they decided to go through the Darien Gap and drive their motorcycles there. And to me, that was such a waste. I mean, some of the stuff you see people, and that's the thing about the West, because we live such shallow lives. Sometimes we do shit that really makes no sense. Like those guys, three guys trying to go through the Darien with motorcycles. What for? They dragged this motorcycle. They had to leave one behind there because the clutch was burned out. It was completely unnecessary. The kind of thing, I think that's the kind of thing only white people could think about. Because as a black person, sometimes I see things white people do, and I'm like, only a white man could think about stuff like that. Because I think the white man has actually, I think that's a thing about white people. Because they have satisfied their basics. Their mind can, because a black guy in a million years, he would not think about, I'm going to drag a motorcycle through the Darien Gap. It's just so stupid. It doesn't make any sense. I remember there was a guy who did it, a German guy, but that was different. That was like adventurous. But this was just, it was, they, to do it recently, because I was listening to adventureradio.com, and there was a German guy, and I think he said one time he pulled, I don't know how many takes out of him. There was like 100, but he was just him and another guy. These guys, they employed some of the natives in their place to help them do it. To me, it was totally unnecessary. Didn't make any sense at all. Some things you just do that makes absolutely no sense. You just a waste. You're just doing stuff just to say. It's like an answer looking for a question, that kind of thing. So, and so I've been following people doing more just to get the inspiration. You got Ted Simon, the usual Jupiter's Travels. That was a good book. I read that. I remember even one of the parts in that book I find interesting is when I think he's somewhere in the desert, and he's in a truck, and there were some tribe, there were the Tuaregs, or a tribe that was moved. He had some people who were locals in the truck, and they were going somewhere. I think maybe his motorcycle had broken, and remember how he notices. He can notice the women's. He can notice like the jiggling of the. I don't know why that story makes me laugh. He can notice like the jiggling of the breast moving or something, because I guess the women are wearing loose garments. But then he was telling me he says how he was very careful not to look too hard in case the men saw him and they had swords or knives or whatever. So I mean, that's a good book. And then there's also a guy who's and then also the sad thing about motorcycle travel is that you can see how there are some how some people do very little but they get a lot of price. Because there's a Japanese guy. If you go on YouTube and you Google uh, from Japan to Portugal by motorcycle, there's a guy called Hiraoki Makai. He did that whole trip. You don't even hear much about him. He did Africa, I think. The guy even went across Africa. You don't hear much about him. But you hear other white people who have done, a section, and they get so much press. And So that's the thing about it too. Some people get so much press, some people don't get any press. I mean, you got guys like Pedro Moto. I don't know whether he's still going on. And I even remember the Ukrainian lady Anna Greshis Greshishkina. I don't think I can pronounce her name correctly. I remember when some people in adv.com were trying to write a blog for her, and it became such a big deal. That's what I'm saying. Stupid shit like that. Like I said, here in the West, we have so much time. People fight over stupid shit because, like I said, our bellies are full. We have a lot of time, and you know, stupid shit is like, people. That's what rules the day. So, like I said, there was a guy Sajak. There was a guy from I think he was Scandinavian who rode an R1 around the world. So really, motorcycle choice that it doesn't matter. If I was riding around the world right now, I have a big scooter now. I have a maxi scooter. I'd ride that. Not a, is it the ideal motorcycle for around the world? No, it's a worse motorcycle because that probably CVT will probably be chewed up in. Once I leave America, I go to Mexico, and then where do you get parts for it? If you're stuck in Ecuador, where do you get parts for a CVT? But it's heavy. You cannot do off-roading with it. Forget about going off-roading. Ideally, I maybe choose a dual sport. But really, you can ride any motorcycle. I mean, this guy C90 Adventures. I mean, Ed March is the coolest dude in the world. You remember, in the desert he was making. There was somewhere he was in the desert. I think in Oman or one of those countries in the Middle East, and he was showing dropping his little C90 and then making fun of a GS. Because also the problem I think is like this adventure, the adventure segment too. To me, the adventure segment is. I think my camera might be turning off. I think it gets 30 minutes and then it starts turning off. The adventure segment, I like the bikes. The bikes look cool. Don't get me wrong. The GS and all those. Africa Twin is a nice looking bike. First of all, they're too tall for me, so I can't afford them. I'm, so somebody might say it's sour grapes, but to me, I don't get it. Those bikes have a little dual sport I just bought. It's not highway capable. Of course, it's not very comfortable. It's less than 250 cc, so that's not an ideal bike even for. One cannot say that's a one. That is not an ideal bike for one being a one bike. It's not like an ideal bike being the only single bike you have. But I think the adventure thing has gotten. It's gotten too. The Some things get too popular and then it just becomes about the gear, and I think that's what it is. It's just about the gear and the motorcycles. The gear is super expensive. They've got very good gear. Don't forget. Even me, I'm a guard all the time. I always wear gear, but I have gear from Cycle Gear. That's okay. Not as good as before. I mean, much. It has gotten a little bit less. The quality has come down a little bit, but really, I don't go crazy about gear. I mean, I don't go. Motorcycles and the motorcycles are nice, so you find people arguing about stupid shit like tires. I mean, some tires are better than other tires. No, I'm not gonna deny that, but some of it is also preference. So really, I think for us, just get out there. If you can do it, save your money, get out there, ride, get to meet people, and then also get away from this. Like I remember when Ichi Boots went to, I think she was in Tajikistan one time, and she was super cold, and she had gone somewhere. And there was this, I think it was a security post or a military post, and I mean, she was freezing, so she got in there and she sat by the fire, and just even right now in Iraq or Kurdistan where she was, where people don't let her pay for things. Of course, being a woman, being a white woman, she has a lot of privilege. Nothing wrong with that. And being a woman, also, people want to take care of her. So But I think I'm talking about just getting away from this society where everything is a transaction, meaning that really there is no. And I think that's where we're trying to escape. We're trying to find human beings. I think that's what it is. Because really, I think in America right now, like I said, what did I do? I told you about the UPS helper. We've become machines. Everything. everything is a transaction. Do I have human to human interactions? I do. I mean, I try to talk to cashiers, I try to make a joke, but everything is fleeting. There's no giving somebody, I don't even know, giving, going somewhere and people giving you water. It happens here, don't get me wrong. But I'm just saying, some human things have been completely lost. Where meaning that, I mean, it's like, and even me, I'm not trying to say I'm different. I'm a product of that, I'm a product of this, meaning that even me, I try a little bit, but do I make a effort to go help people and do? First of all, I should be volunteering more. Do I make am I do I make an effort of trying to make this a more? No, I don't. Because what's the point? There is really no point. I mean, when I have customers in Uber, I talk to them. I try to be human with people. I try to be friendly with people. But really, there is no point to take it beyond superficial because that's what it is. What it is. That's a life. You can't change it. You just have to leave and uh, go experience some these things somewhere else. That's why even now, a friend of mine has traveled to another country, somewhere in Africa, and we were talking about, and we were joking. I was joking to him that that's man heaven, cause, and we were saying something interesting that that's where a man goes for a dude. Some of the stuff you see online, you go to that place and you see in real life, meaning that. And I was talking about, I mean, not to sound nasty or dirty, I was talking about in as far as the sexual aspect of life, meaning that over here in America, all it is, everything you watch, everything is just you watch online. You see nakedness online, you see porn online. When you go to, and I was talking to him, when you go to that particular another country, and because of the dollar sense, and also the dollar, and also there's the social aspect of a society. Some of that's that I was joking. That's what I'm saying. Some of those things we see, like a naked female body, we see the online, but you go to another country and due to the social structure, getting introduced to people, having money too, that you can entertain, and also you can even pay for sex. We see those things in other countries. But anyway, let me bring it back to motorcycle and get away from all the other crap. So my thing is that get out there, travel, and like I said, but the thing about travel, even mean like now, if I was thinking about travel, what are my expectations on it? First of all, for me, I think it would be very different because being black, I think, you see, white people have white privilege. They can travel around the world and doors open for them. As a black person, I think it's a whole different. It's not your mentality dictates how you perceive things. One has to be very careful. But with the same doors open for you compared to another white person? No. But then doesn't matter. It should, because I remember there was a Kenyan couple that were traveling. I remember I saw that somebody mentioned a Kenyan couple traveling on ADV rider, and I went. So I go there quickly, man. I'm excited. A Kenyan couple, and I was expecting two white people. So when I check their Throttle Adventures, I see two black people, two Kenyans, two black Kenyans. I mean, as far as being Kenyans, and I was in shock because usually when you see travel, like in motorcycle travel community, it's all white. You don't see other people. You rarely see other people. You just see Europeans, some Americans, but it's all white people. So it was very interesting to see these two Africans traveling, and the beauty about them, because like now me, if I travel, I've been in America for a long period of time, nearly 2 decades, and I've been infected by this thing called race. So I always, even this time when I was traveling in the States some years ago in 2021, I was very conscious about race. And even um, then, even less than now. Now, if I was to travel, I'd even be more. I was always conscious that, you know, getting, getting attacked. I mean, getting caught up in some of these small towns and being beaten up or being killed. So race was always part of it. Getting stopped by cops. I never felt comfortable when I went to the what are they called, the RV parks or whatever, because I was only, oh, I think my camera is gonna turn down anytime soon. Let me give it. 55, 6, 57, 58, 59. So yeah, so the camera stopped. So like I was saying, I was very conscious because in most cases I was the only black guy, and I was just watching my movements because I didn't trust anybody around me. Not that they were gonna beat me up or anything. No, it wasn't that. But it just felt weird. These people can accuse you of anything. I remember one time I was in a packing up my stuff in a I had left this was a state park with a camping area, and there was a young lady who came by, and so we started talking. She saw me and packing my stuff, and she asked me. So we started talking, and she was kind of, I could see, a young lady. She's very enthusiastic. She wanted to know about me, so we talked and talked and talked and talked. I thought her family was in the. I thought her family was staying at the campsite, only because now my mind wasn't thinking about it, meaning that even me, I'm local here where in the state I stay. Sometimes I go for walks in the park, in the state parks, and people are camping there. So that's when because I had not seen any other black people in any of these campsites I'd gone to. So that's how she ended up being there, and that's where we ended up meeting and talking. So yeah, so that's the thing. Just that just feeling of like I was saying, being black, getting out there, being the treatment is going to be completely different. Maybe getting harassed by the border control police. But anyway, you just have to get out there because safety, I'm not so worried about safety because really, like now in the US right now, some other countries are very unsafe. I mean, Guatemala, go to Mexico, I'd feel unsafe, Guatemala. But then what kind of safety do we have? I remember there's a guy on YouTube whose commentary is very he's the sharp the guy is very sharp, and a lady, somebody was asking her to, and he was saying how, like now in the US, really, I cannot complain about going to Mexico or Guatemala or complain about violence. We are surrounded with violence in this place. I expect, like me, I wake up every day. I expect when I step out there's gonna be violence. Even right now, I'm in my house. I expect violence. I mean, in the place I stay, I go to sleep. I It will not surprise me somebody broke in, whatever. So, really, safety is not should not be a meaning. Of course, there are some other places which are unsafe. Guatemala is unsafe. Getting robbed is a big issue. But as far as safety, being a man, as speaking as a man, really that doesn't worry about me because really I do, but I'm not safe here anyway. I'd expect you just all like every customer gets in my vehicle, not expect, but I know they're sitting behind me, they can do anything to me. So safety, let's let's stop let's stop complaining about safety and all those because we live in one of the unsafe. America is probably one of the unsafest countries out there. So really, let's really not let's we just convince ourselves we just accept things for what they are. So safety is not an issue. Safety for me will not even be a really the only thing about it. Like I said, I would say the good thing about America, even as unsafe as it is, as a black man, I still would be safer here than some other places where I stick out more. That could also be a thing. So one always has to think about that. So really, the main thing is just getting out there and doing it. And why a motorcycle? I don't know why. A car is also interesting. There's a couple who traveled around Africa the French couple on a minivan. They had a Mitsubishi minivan, and my God, man, there's something has to be said for Japanese engineering. This thing went all the way from France, all the way down to Mozambique, I think it is. Stayed there during COVID, rode up on the eastern side through Kenya, Ethiopia. They went all the way to Jordan, and then Israel, Egypt to Israel. They came back to Turkey and all the way back to France. I think it's a Delica, and I mean the Japanese are beyond beyond. The thing was messed up. I mean, it was they had to patch it up a few times. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't perfect. I mean, in Mozambique, I think they did some fixing. In Kenya, they did some fixing, some suspension where the suspension and the frame was coming apart. But the engine and everything, I think he had to rebuild the rear end somewhere in Turkey or somewhere. But it's an amazing vehicle. I mean, the Japanese engineering is on another level. Even though right now, as far as the new cars right now, everything is all junk. So don't even. The Japanese are still slightly better than the Germans and the Americans, but even now the Japanese, it's all junk. I mean, a new Honda 2025 Honda Accord, 2025 Chevy Malibu, Honda maybe slightly better, but it's all junk. You're dealing with junky direct injection, just all that carbon suit build up, all kinds of crap that really is not even. They're very nice car to drive, very comfortable. Same thing with motorcycles. Like now, actually I like Ichibutsu. She's driving an older, her riding an older motorcycle, and you see it made a big difference for her when they tried to rob the motorcycle and cut all those wires. I mean, this German guy who made the motorcycle, the guy is a genius. He was very smart the way. Just I never even thought about that. If that was a newer motorcycle like previous motorcycles, forget it. She would have been stranded. She would have had to find a way of attaching all those wires together, and there's no way she could be riding that motorcycle right now. So sometimes the Lord, like I said, the Lord works in mysterious ways. So like I said, advrider.com is an interesting site. Horizons Unlimited. Of course, YouTube has plenty of content on that. Let me also mention there was also the Indian lady who rode from India all the way to, I think, Australia. She's the lady with the long hair. She's also good. I prefer watching ladies. I find ladies' videos more vulnerable. They're more vulnerable, and they show they're more human than some of the men. Some of the dudes try too hard. I mean, some of the dudes I do watch, they they not that they try too hard, but I don't know why. I just like the ladies are allowed to be more human, where a dude might try too hard to be. Even another I don't even know. I gotta Google what the hell they're doing. Wild Vespa. That guy was amazing. That guy, they traveled from Greece all the way to the bottom of Africa with Vespas. That's why I'm saying the motorcycle of choice doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what this guy Ed Match with his C90. I remember when him and the girlfriend. Oh my goodness! And I still feel bad that they separated because that time they rode in the winter time. That was beyond belief. Those temperatures, that was crazy. And so there's a Polish couple that I used to see on Instagram. They used to travel together. They did. I think they went all the way around to they went to the bottom of Africa. There was Elspeth Beard. That she's amazing. I read that book. That did it. She did it back in the day, and a woman. So like I said, yeah. So I think let me wrap it up and say that this is something I'd like to do. I sound like a broken record. I don't know something I've mentioned to many people, but it's something that's always been growing on me. And I think this year is the right year to do it because, like I said, what is it that we are living for right now? What is it? What is it? Freaking UPS, 280 stops one day, running around like a headless chicken, cold. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind it. It's a job. Uber, no, I like it. Hey, Uber has given me a way to make money. But what is it? There's really no purpose at all. No purpose. There's no. At least in the old days, a man lived for his family. If I had a wife and kids right now, for say if I had a wife and kids, I'd not even be thinking about this. I'd be in bed right now, cuddled next to my wife. But other than that, what is there? What is there? If I had kids, I'd be thinking about my kids. But without that, what is there for a man? Just going there, making money, going to car shows, going to Cars and Coffee, talking about cars, maybe watch MotoGP season when those are good, nothing wrong with that. But what is the point? You know, what is the point? Just bills. You wake up. I mean, you're used to a machine, like I said. I was riding, UPS with a crazy white boy. The guy's like a machine. That's what you've been reduced to. I mean, like a complete machine. But like I said, that's why we need to get out there, man. I don't care even if I take my big scooter heavy, take it maybe to whatever. By the time I get to Alaska, what's that road over there? The Dalton Highway. Find out it's not the ideal motorcycle. Not not ideal for that. But at least I tried it. It's better than nothing. It's better than what I'm doing right now, which is it's better than it's something. It's at least I get to live. Even if I get out there and die, at least I did something. I remember there was a very sad story I read where, and I read it on ADV where this young guy was traveling, went to Mexico. He ran into a doctor and became a quadriplegic, where he was, I think, disabled from the shoulders down or something. I don't know how long he stayed alive, but eventually I think he killed himself or somebody helped him commit suicide and he died. And you look at some of those things and you say to yourself, at least, I mean, not for him. I cannot speak for him. Don't get me wrong. I speak for myself. I say, if I get out there and something happens to me, man, at least I did it, man. Because you know, you know, like I said, this life you're living is a death by a thousand cuts. You'd rather go out there die once than die every day. I like to say every day is a retreat. Remember reading a story about a German soldier saying today was a good day. We only retreated 50 miles. Because the week before they did 100 miles. And that's how it is right now in the West, in America, really. Every day is a retreat, man. There is not, there really, every day is a retreat. I'm not trying to say that the West has brought the West, America, the West has given the world everything that we have. Even this comfort to sit here and make this video is due to the West. But at the end of the day, we have come to realize, at the end of the day, we have realized there's really nothing. Because, first of all, the stuff that used to make somebody human, it's become, families are, forget it, it's unaffordable. Relationships are unaffordable. There is no friendship. All it is work, internet, watch TV, watch porn, jack off, and that's it. Really, that's it. Maybe a hobby if you're lucky. Some people who have hobbies talk about work the whole day, talk about sports maybe, and that's it. That's it. That's it. That's what you gotta look for. So that's why I think even the adventure travel is appealing. But then also, if one has to do it, make it low key. You can put your stuff online. You can put your stuff online. There's nothing wrong with that. Even me, if I was to do it, I would post myself. But then I would be low key. Just have some cultural awareness. Because I remember watching a French couple traveling through Pakistan, and they kept on asking everybody, "Is it safe?" And what are you doing there? And that's the thing. As a black dude watching some whites travel, it's cringy though. They just go to this thing, poverty porn. What? They go to these neighborhoods and then ask, "Is it safe?" Get the fuck out of here, man. What are you doing in that neighborhood? I mean, it's insulting. Why can't you travel to the bad neighborhoods in America and say, "Is it safe?" It's stupid shit. I mean, come on, man. You can do better. You go to a favela and then walk around with a local and then ask whether it's safe. I mean, give us a break, man. People live there. There are people who live there. They have kids there. So that's the thing. Being sensitive. That's why the two of the best travels I've watched have been that French couple. Oh my God, that French couple who traveled with a Mitsubishi Delica from France all the way to Africa and then back up the Middle East. The husband, he became, the guy was, they were some of the most, then there were some of the most, I've never seen people, I don't know what the word is, but some of the, I don't know whether it's chill or I don't know. Yeah, some of the people who blended in the local, the dude, sometimes you'd see the husband became like a local. Sometimes you'd have like a t-shirt that's torn they were some of the most low key people who blended in. I mean, some of the best adventure travel I've ever seen. I mean, these people were just, remember even when their phone was stolen somewhere in the Sudan, and I mean, these were some of the most, because I've seen other travelers who are too much. They, you're traveling, you go to Africa and then you expect to find the West in Africa. Why did you leave your house? If you go to Africa and then you want to find America, why did you leave? Why did you leave America? You could have stayed here. Complaining about complaining about other. I remember one time I went to a dentist and this lady had traveled to Africa and she even had gone to, I think she had gone to Seychelles and she had even gone to Kenya. And the first thing she told me was trying to get scammed. And you're like, come on. Of course, yeah, it happens in Africa. Like I said, there are white prices and there are local prices. But to me, out of that whole trip, is that all you got out of it? Or even I remember another guy, he went with a religious group. And this was kind of, this is the thing, that's a cringy thing about some white people when they travel. I mean, they see things, they are so weird. This guy went to Africa, I think he went to Kenya or somewhere in Africa with an religious group, whatever, missionary. And the thing he found, he told me about seeing two dudes holding hands. And in Africa, two guys holding hands were poor friends. It had nothing to do with a homosexual relationship. But you wonder, is that all this guy could got out of it? And that's the thing about it. That's the thing. When you watch some white people travel, they just cringy though. They just can't seem to get their whiteness, their westernness out of their head, and just go to another country and just be chill. You know, everything has to be looked into this prism of, you know, the Western prism. Why did you leave then? You could have stayed in your own freaking country. It's more efficient. I'm not, me traveling around the world is not to leave America because even though, like I said, even though there's no hope here left anymore, I don't see any hope, any hope left. But this country, there may be no hope here. I can live a million years, like the way I'm living now. I can live a billion years. It's easy because everything is paid for you. I can be driving Uber for a billion years. I don't care. I mean, the system works. There's water. I go there, open the water, tap water comes out. Right now, I got electricity. I got a light on. My house is heated. This place, things work. But you're not going out there. I'm not gonna go to Mexico or Ecuador to look for that. I'm going there to look for what we have lost here, which is there's no. I don't. We are not. I'm looking for now the human now. We got the machine here. The machine, everything works. We got everything. Everything system here, it works. We got machines. We have created we human machines here. But you go to Ecuador. If I go to Argentina, if I go to Brazil and I'm traveling there, I'm looking out for the connections which don't exist here anymore. I'm looking for those, those small things like remember I've traveled to another country and there was a guy he used to roast maize and you'd go there, sit there with him, and just sit there and waste time. That wasting, sit there and just joke with him, which does not exist here. Where you gonna go? Yeah, I mean you might go to a barber shop and joke with them and because you know them, but those connections which don't exist anymore. That's what you're traveling for. You're not traveling here to efficiency. We have it here. I go to the DMV, get stuff done in one day. Other countries, it's corruption. You have to bribe somebody, whatever. So you're not gonna. So don't go to another country. Don't take your efficiency to El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras. There, you can stay with your freaking efficiency here and the and the machine life. Yeah, everything. I mean, the roads are smooth. Things are efficient. There's no corruption. Things work. If I call a policeman right now, they're gonna show up. Other countries, they might not even show up. The police are probably the crooks. So, like I said, don't travel. Don't take your Western view to another place. Go there, chill. Go there. The reason you went there, is to see some humanity, which has been lost completely. Where now in America right now, forget it. We don't even like I said, you wanna, instead of just here now, you and your vacuum cleaner could become friends. You and a vacuum cleaner could become like a friend. You could you can even, I mean, but when you go to other countries, you're looking out for a human. It's like, oh my God, this is a human being. He actually sweats, actually cries, feels pain, which we have completely lost now. You know, you could be shot out there, run over. You're just a statistic. A big old pickup truck runs you over. That's just a statistic. A human being, a human being? No, 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 it wasn't a human being. It's a statistic. 1 out of 1,000. You could be shot in a mass killing. Oh, human being? Oh, that's not a human being. That's just a statistic. 1 in 5,000. That's all it is. That's all we have become. So that's what I say. Get out there, travel. Let's see this big world. Let's all broaden our horizons. Let's get out of our comfort zone. Let's get out there, man. We need to find human beings, man. We need human, genuine human connection. Even a beautiful woman, you can sleep, you can lie. You might go to another country, meet your wife there. Even meet a girl there, have fun. Lie next to a warm body, having a warm body next to you. When was the last time you ever had that? You know, put the computer down. Turn off the Pornhub. That might, actually have another human being, flesh and blood next to you. Make love to her. Make all those beautiful noises people make when they're making love. Imagine that. Oh man, I don't know about that, man. That sounds kind of strange, man. Man, I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that, man. What are you talking about, man? Noises. People make noises when they make love. Man, I only see that on the computer, man. Man, that only happens in porn, man. You can't be making love, man. You're supposed to work. Anyway, later, enough talking. A man ain't supposed to talk too much. Like I said, let's get out there, let's travel.